we call this section rapid fire. And
Okay.
what do we do is so I'll usher a keyword or whatever it is, and just tell me what comes to your mind, and then you can elaborate more if things needs more elaboration. But that's how how the rapid fire works. So should we start?
Okay. Let's go.
So startups.
Driving this country's economic engine.
Entrepreneurship.
Sport.
Failures.
Learning.
Growth.
Painful.
That's interesting. Culture.
Everything.
Founder.
Fun.
Disruption.
More fun.
Jobs of future.
Flexible.
That's interesting. Future of startups.
Crowdfunded.
And future of organizations.
Back in an office? Question mark.
Yeah, that's a big question mark. So thank you for playing that. I do appreciate that. So now we're at the tail end of the conversation, and I want to spend few minutes understanding your personal journey to where you are today. So basically, we ask all of our guests to talk and share about some qualities that has helped them become what they have become. They have contributed to their success. Talk to us about some of those qualities that has shaped you what you are today.
I think one is that I have been very intentional about scaling myself as a leader over the years. I'm very proud of the fact that I founded a company and ran it till it was north of 100 million in revenue. But there's not one thing that goes into that, right? It's putting all sorts of support systems in place, and then it's changing those as you need to change them. It's working with a coach. It's working with mentors. It's working with a peer group. It's having a phenomenal executive assistant and learning how to really optimize that relationship. So I feel like I've been very lucky to have all of those great people around me, but very intentional about seeking them out. I think a second thing is that I've come to believe over the years, and this is a little bit of a complicated sentence that I say a lot, but it's that luck is more important than timing, which is more important than execution, which is more important than the idea. So we talked earlier about how the idea is great, but if you don't have a team to execute it, it kind of doesn't matter. But we didn't really talk about the role of timing and the role of luck. And I think in business and probably in life, those things are so important. And, just think about Facebook was not the first social network, right? There was Friendster, there was MySpace, there were, a bunch of things, right? LinkedIn was not the first thing like LinkedIn. There was Plaxo, if you remember that. And those things were not, maybe they weren't executed well. We know the idea was good because the idea took off eventually. My memory of them is that they were executed at least passably well, but it wasn't the right time for the world. Or maybe those founders didn't have the right luck. They didn't get them in the right hands at the right time, or they didn't have the right investors or something. And I think as an entrepreneur and an operator, I've always tried to be really thoughtful and mindful about timing and luck. And you can't create those things, but you can be mindful about them, and you can try to put yourself in the best position to take advantage of trends, right, of timing. And there's that old expression about luck that fortune favors the bold, right? Or you have to shoot to score, right? So you can kind of make your own luck if you're persistent enough.
That's a fair point. So we ask all of our guests to share some of their favorite reads. So I wonder if you have any read that has inspired you, or is in your list of good read to follow.
Um, I, I'll tell you two of my favorite business related books. One is Ben Horowitz's book, The Hard Thing About Hard Things, which possible that's actually my favorite business book. It's certainly a phenomenal one. And being a CEO or a founder, your job is full of hard things, and it's a book that really resonates with founders. It's very different from my book, and I like to think the two of them go well together. The other book of all the business books that I've read that I turn to the most is a book called The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni. And I'm a big Lencioni fan. I've read all of his books. But The Advantage is one where he pulls in the frameworks from lots of his other books all into that one book. So I sort of describe The Advantage as a little bit of like how to run your leadership team. And I think it's a really, really accessible and useful book.